Yo, 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 welcome back to the MMA Short Show. Is always your boy, Steven Moustaris. And guys, man, let's just get straight into it. I'm getting so annoyed right now seeing all these people calling for the Sean Strickland title fight against Izzy. Like, guys, he just beat an unranked guy who only fought one time in the UFC for literally has 19 seconds of any film time that we want to watch in the UFC. Like, I get it. It sounds cool. The Rocky stories always sound cool. The underdog story always sounds cool. If you're that guy, if you're Abus, you're like, oh shit, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. It is cool. It's awesome to see. But in MMA, that shit doesn't really happen often, man. Like, you might get lucky with a nice little knockout to start your, maybe get like the first punch knockout, maybe catch a guy off guard in the first half round, maybe the first round. But, once you start running into these guys who have been tested time in and time out, and are such big veterans like Sean Strickland. Like, even though Sean Strickland, I don't think is a top tier guy. Like, I think he's a top 5 for sure in the weight class right now. But when we're talking top tier between Robert Whittaker and then the huge gap between him and Izzy, like, and I'm a Robert Whittaker guy, so I hate to even say it, but it is true. There's a gap between him and Izzy. There's also just the biggest gap, if not bigger, between Robert Whittaker and the rest of the division. And Sean Strickland falls in that. But this is what I was talking about when I just did this. I did a middleweight video a couple weeks ago. It's tough because these top 5 guys, it's nice to see them fight each other. And all of them, other than maybe Paulo Costa right now, we're not sure because I don't know how serious he's taking it. But Jared Cannonier, Marvin Vettori, Sean Strickland, these guys are going to go out and beat those top, those some of the other guys like Nasruddin Imavov, like we just saw with Sean Strickland. We're going to, like he just did with Abus Magomedov. Like, we're going to see that, like, all the time. If Marvin Vettori, like he did with Roman Dolidze. Like, these guys are going to take out these top contenders that the UFC want really bad. And I think it's going to happen with Dricus Du Plessis and Robert Whittaker. But it's like, man, like, guys, I don't know. I was so pissed off when they made these announcements for Sean Strickland to fight Abus Magomedov and fucking Paulo Costa to fight Ikram Aliskerov. 2 unranked guys, 2 unproven guys. Like, why wouldn't these guys fight each other? Like, if Sean Strickland would have done that to Paulo Costa Saturday night, oh, for sure we're sitting here maybe talking a title fight. If he would have done that, grew some balls, and did that against Jared Cannonier a couple months ago, yeah, for sure it would have been fucking sick. But he did it to a guy that didn't belong to be in there, man. He didn't. You guys could see it from the rip. The dude came out way too heavy, way too strong, which if it's nicer to see that at least than like we just saw with our Amanda Nunes and Irene Aldana, where Irene Aldana like was starstruck and didn't throw a single thing, and maybe the 5th round kind of went for it a little bit, but for the most part didn't throw anything all night, was gun shy. Like, yeah, I guess I'd rather see Abus Magomedov come off and at least throw shit that can kind of scare Sean Strickland. But he gassed himself. It was a rookie mistake, and I'm only saying this and I'm only being hard on this guy because I'm comparing him to the top tier guys, the top 3 guys, the top 4 guys, because that's what they matched him up with. He doesn't belong to be in there, man. He might be skillful, but he doesn't have enough experience. We see this all the time. You're going to just throw him up in there against Sean Strickland? Like, Nasruddin Imavov, maybe in a year or 2, maybe in 3 years, I think, yeah, okay, he could probably take Sean Strickland, but the way that he's just been running through people and way too high of confidence, and yeah, I knew Sean Strickland was probably going to beat his ass, even off a week. And this is where I'm getting upset for Sean Strickland, because I've been saying this too, and for Paulo Costa. This is so upsetting for them, because especially Sean Strickland, and I hate to be defending Sean Strickland here. It's funny, because I never do this shit. But with Sean Strickland, you're going to step up after a lackluster performance. Jared Cannonier, you knew it. Hey, at least you sat there and you took, responsibility, and you said it'll never happen again. What do? You step in there within 2 weeks and you fight Nasruddin Imavov, a killer, and you take him out and just absolutely wax the floor with him and save the UFC's ass for that card so it didn't get canceled. And then guess what? The UFC's going to go, okay, we're just not going to give you a Paulo Costa or the Marvin Vettori or Jared Cannonier, these type of rematch, whatever that could have been up there. Dricus Du Plessis, all these things, Robert Whittaker, whatever the matchup could have happened at a top-ranked guy. We're going to give you Abus Magomedov, dude. And this is why I feel bad for Sean Strickland, because I knew he was going to win this. I thought he was going to win 50-45. I mean, we don't see Sean Strickland go out there and get finishes like that. But, I was pretty fucking confident this guy was going to go through there and just destroy him. And look what happens. It's even more impressive. And now people are calling for title shots, which is just mind-blowing here, because it's like, dude, he beat a guy that didn't even deserve to be in there. He did his job. Yeah, hats off to Sean Strickland. Did his job. Looked fucking impressive. But where was that against Jared Cannonier? You know what I'm saying? And guys, if we're being honest here too, we don't want to see that fight with Izzy. Izzy is so good at understanding, like, hey, I'm the champion. You got to come to me. Like we saw with Izzy against Alex Pereira when he had to come back and get his title. yeah, he's going to come at you and get that shit like he did. He knocked out Alex Pereira. It was fucking sick. But when he's the champion, we see it all the time. Jared Cannonier fight, boring. Paulo Costa fight, boring. Yoel Romero fight, boring. He's done it with everybody. Literally everybody. You name a fighter. Marvin Vettori fights, boring. Like, and it's not even Izzy's fault. I'm not blaming Izzy. It's more the time. It's his opponents. And guess what? Sean Strickland is a counter fighter. He's a pressure fighter. He's not going to go out there and go chase Izzy down, because if he did, it's going to happen like what happened with Alex Pereira. He's going to get fucking caught real bad and maybe fucking finished. And guess what? It's going to be a stalemate most likely. And we can't forget that. Just because he looked amazing the other night, he doesn't deserve that title fight, in my opinion. Like, I think Jared Cannonier going out there and beating Marvin Vettori the way he did, that's way more impressive. And yeah, I know we just saw Jared Cannonier fight Izzy, but fucking Whitaker got a couple fights. Fucking, Marvin Vettori got a couple fights. Why doesn't Jared Cannonier look good against Izzy? Honestly, it was more Izzy just not really like going for it, not make it like, and his defense is really good. And he's going to keep you sitting there and keep you guessing. So it's like, I don't know, man. I just feel bad. And I'm going to feel bad, too, because Paulo Costa is probably going to come out and look really good against Ikram Aliskerov. And we're going to be sitting there, title fight. But when's the last time he fought? He hasn't been around in forever. He's been fucking around. He seems like he's way happier on Twitter. It seems like he doesn't really care about titles. Like, it looks like he doesn't even care about fighting. It's crazy right now. But this is my point, man. This is just ridiculous matchup by the UFC. Like, I get what you guys are doing. You guys want contenders because there's no contenders in the division. You don't want to see all these matchups again, rematches and shit between Whitaker, Vettori, fucking like Cannonier, everybody I just named. They're really putting all their eggs in the basket for Dricus Duplessis this weekend. I don't think he gets it done, and I'll do more videos and stuff. But like, come on, guys, this shit's just ridiculous. And now we're sitting here talking for title fights for Sean Strickland. Like, I'm never one to, cut him off or whatever, or say there's no chance in hell. But, dude, Sean Strickland's going to get absolutely destroyed by Izzy. We've already seen it. You know what I'm saying? We've already witnessed this stuff. Izzy's matchup is just really good against somebody like Sean Strickland. And, yeah, even though Sean Strickland looks amazing against other people, like, it's just, man, I just don't want to see it. He can't even beat Whitaker. I don't think he's beaten Cannonier. I mean, he could. I think that one's one of the matchups where they're actually really well, I think really competitive. I think they compare very well with each other. But for even that, it's like, I don't know, man. I just feel bad for middleweight. It's always tough, but I even feel bad for Sean Strickland, as crazy as it is, and as much as I might not agree with him in his personal life or whatever, and what he like decides and his decisions in life. But still, as a fighter, the dude is fucking talented, and I've been saying that forever. He deserved way more than what he got last night. So, it's tough to sit here and be like, oh shit, here we go, whatever. But let's be real with it here. Like, Abus didn't even deserve to be in that fight. So, as always, your boy Steven Moustaris. Let's go, baby.